You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home.
But Crawford has the ability to beat anybody.
Virgil Hunter has stood in the corner opposite the deadliest fighters in history has spoken. While the boxing world sees Canelo as a destructive force, a power that has crumbled champions, silenced arenas, and built an empire, Hunter sees nothing but an illusion. What he has to say isn't just an opinion. He has laid out a terrifyingly convincing blueprint for why Canelo's greatest asset is not just overrated, but completely and utterly useless against Terrence "Bud" Crawford.
But Crawford has the ability to beat anybody. I think Canelo is slipping. I think he's very hittable. I think he only throws 1 or 2 punches. I think the stamina problem is right there. And from what I understand, he lives a pretty party lifestyle also. So money can do some strange things to you, man. And before you know it, when you've been fighting as long as he has from a kid and things like that, and the ego is there, you can start bypassing things. You can lose the hunger. And when the hunger is gone, the skill starts going. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. And I don't think weight has much to do with this. I think it's going to be skill.
Virgil Hunter's shocking argument wasn't built overnight. It started years ago, long before a super fight with Terrence Crawford back in 2017. While most were celebrating Canelo's rise, Hunter accused him of making a real mockery for boxing. He wasn't talking about Canelo's skill or his heart. He was talking about the very conditions under which Canelo's power was being showcased. Hunter pointed a finger at the constant demand for catch weights, forcing opponents to drain themselves to meet a specific number on the scale that wasn't a real weight class. He saw a pattern of forcing concessions from opponents, both financially and physically, before the first bell ever rang. To Hunter, this wasn't the behavior of a true pound-for-pound king. It was the strategic manipulation of a fighter protecting an asset. In his eyes, Canelo's power wasn't being proven against the best versions of his opponents. It was being unleashed on fighters who were already compromised. Forcing Amir Khan up from welterweight to a catchweight of 155 pounds, or demanding Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. drain himself down to 164.5 pounds. These weren't fair fights to Hunter. They were calculated business decisions designed to maximize Canelo's advantage and ensure his power looked as devastating as possible.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm real good.
According to Virgil Hunter, the Canelo power is crumbling. The trainer's gaze is fixed on what he sees as an undeniable truth in 2025. Canelo is slipping. This isn't just a casual observation. It's a clinical diagnosis of a champion in decline. Hunter points to the evidence that's been hiding in plain sight. Watch Canelo's recent fights, he urges, and you'll see a fighter whose energy empties faster with each passing year. The relentless pressure and dazzling combinations that defined his youth have been replaced by a more conservative, methodical approach. This observation is echoed by figures like Joe Rogan, who noted Canelo has become more of a one-punch fighter. He's no longer setting up intricate traps over several rounds. He's waiting, preserving energy, and looking for that single fight-ending shot.
Which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford's leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock you.
1000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young.
His predictability has become a liability. To a master strategist like Hunter, a predictable fighter is a solvable puzzle. The aura of invincibility is fading, replaced by the visible strain of a long, punishing career. Those grueling wars with Gennady Golovkin, the battles against bigger men, They all come with a price. And Hunter believes the bill is finally coming due. A fading champion is one thing, but to render his power useless requires a specific antidote. When asked how Terence Crawford's team planned to deal with the monstrous, game-changing power of Canelo Alvarez, his head trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, gave a chillingly simple, one-word answer: timing. In the world of boxing, that single word is the ultimate checkmate to brute force. Timing is the art of hitting an opponent at the precise millisecond he doesn't see it coming, turning his own aggression and momentum against him. It's the ability to land a perfectly placed shot that an opponent walks right into, multiplying its impact exponentially. Power is useless if it hits nothing but air, and it's a liability if it leaves a fighter overextended and vulnerable. Bomac didn't stop there. He completely dismantled the narrative that this was a fight about size. When told that Canelo was the bigger man, Bomac just shook his head and said, "He ain't the bigger guy, he ain't." He then dismissed Canelo's power with a stunning level of confidence, stating, "I don't give an expletive about that power. The power isn't going to be able to sustain him throughout the fight." This is the core of their strategy. They see Canelo as a lumbering cannon, powerful but slow to reload and predictable in his aim. They plan to use timing, speed, and precision to make Canelo miss, make him pay for every mistake, and slowly break him down. But timing alone isn't enough.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
The boxing world is fixated on a simple, flawed equation: Canelo's size and power versus Crawford's speed and skill. But Virgil Hunter sees a hidden variable that changes the entire calculation. According to him, everyone is overlooking Terence Crawford's underrated physical strength. This isn't the brute, heavy-handed power of Canelo. Hunter describes it as something more refined, more dangerous. He talks about the unique buggy whip snap on Crawford's punches, a testament to his genetic build and relentless training that generates shocking power from unexpected angles. This isn't just a trainer praising his fighter. The truth of it has been felt by those who have shared the ring with Crawford. Amir Khan, who has faced both men, spoke about Crawford's surprising strength and wrestling ability in the clinch. He confirmed that Crawford bangs hard and possesses a raw, functional muscle that doesn't show up on the scale. Crawford isn't just a slick boxer moving up in weight. He's a naturally strong athlete who has simply been fighting in lower weight classes. This completely reframes the narrative. This isn't a fragile technician trying to survive against a powerhouse. This is a battle between two physically strong men, where one is significantly faster, more adaptable, and armed with a level of timing that can turn power into a liability. This lethal combination of timing and hidden strength is the physical blueprint. But Hunter's final prediction for the fight isn't about the body, it's about the mind. Virgil Hunter's ultimate vision for this super fight has little to do with trading punches. He doesn't see a brawl, he sees an execution. He describes the matchup as a chess match, a battle of wits that will appeal to the true purists of the sport. And in this chess match, he believes Canelo is hopelessly outmatched. This theory is backed by chilling first-hand accounts. Boxer Abdul Khan, who has had the daunting experience of sparring with Crawford, described the process as mentally draining. He said Crawford is constantly 2 steps ahead, dissecting his opponents, learning their patterns, and then systematically breaking them down. He doesn't just beat you physically, he makes you question every move you make, exhausting you mentally until your body has no choice but to follow.
I think it'll be a good fight, but obviously they say a bigger boxer always beats a smaller boxer, but I feel like Crawford will always take the strength up with him, and the skill set will go up with him too. But I feel like we'll have to just see. Canelo's not been performing the best recently, but maybe with a bit of a opposition, you might be seeing a bit better with Canelo.
This is the fate Hunter envisions for Canelo. Imagine the scene. Canelo, the powerful aggressor, steps forward, loading up on the punches that have won him dozens of fights. But they find nothing. Crawford isn't there. He's pivoted, taken a new angle, and responded with a quick, stinging counter that scores and gets out of range. Round after round, this pattern repeats. The frustration builds in Canelo. He starts pressing, becoming more desperate, more predictable. His stamina, already a known weakness, begins to betray him. The chess match turns into a mental disintegration, all orchestrated by the master puppeteer in the other corner. For all the talk of timing and skill, there is an unavoidable, brutal reality at the heart of this fight. Physics. Terence Crawford has never, in his entire 41-fight career, faced a man who hits with the sheer, unadulterated force of Canelo Alvarez. While Crawford was campaigning at 147 pounds, Canelo was knocking out full-fledged light heavyweights like Sergey Kovalev, a feared puncher in his own right. The pro-Canelo argument is simple and terrifyingly compelling. It doesn't matter how skilled you are, it doesn't matter how perfect your timing is. If a 168-pound undisputed champion lands a clean shot, the fight can be over in an instant. There are levels to power, and Canelo operates on a plane that Crawford has yet to experience. Analysts have argued that Crawford's tendency to engage in close-quarters exchanges, a hallmark of his fighting style, would be suicidal against Canelo. They believe that once Crawford feels that unprecedented power, his entire game plan will crumble. The chess match will devolve into a desperate fight for survival. This is the unspoken fear, the brutal variable that threatens to shatter the perfect plan laid out by Virgil Hunter and his team. The world on Canelo's side remains fixated on this physical threat. While the world sees Canelo's power as his greatest weapon, Hunter sees it as his greatest vulnerability. He believes it's a hollow threat, a power that was built on the shaky ground of catch weights and concessions, a power that is now being diminished by the undeniable decline over time. He sees a champion who is slowing down, becoming easier to predict, and more reliant on a single weapon that is about to be rendered completely useless. Hunter's prophecy is clear. The trifecta of Terence Crawford's otherworldly timing, his deceptively potent strength, and his cold, calculating ring intelligence will not just defeat Canelo, it will expose him. He believes we will witness a fight where every thunderous swing from Canelo will be met with the quiet precision of a master surgeon until the illusion of power is shattered for good. The question that remains is a profound one. Has Virgil Hunter, the wise sage of boxing, laid out the inevitable downfall of a king? Or are we about to witness the brutal night that raw, untamable force makes a mockery of even the most perfect plan? So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.